Welcome back. In this episode, we'll be putting up some cargo nets, building ourselves a table for the van that has a dual purpose, and replacing the front door speakers. Major upgrade. Fly Creek Cider Mill in Cooperstown, New York was a great stopover for us. It's a Harvest Host member site, and they have just about everything under the sun you could want, even ducks. There's a big parking lot to park in for an overnight stay. Just register when you get there. The people there are awesome. There's a nice grassy field to park in behind the barn across the road, and the apple cider donuts are to die for. Route 144, Pennsylvania. Beautiful drive along this route with a few stopovers and overlooks to see. Pennsylvania mountains are just gorgeous in the fall. I got these cargo nets. I should have a link in the description where I got them. They come in a lot of different sizes. You just kind of have to size them to your purpose. And here's how they came. I got a 2-footer, a 3-footer, and a 4-footer. The 3 and 4-footer being 8 inches wide. The small one being 4 inches wide. I set these up first in the shop just to make sure that they were going to fit the space I had planned and which way to put the mounting hooks, up or down. We got 8-inch high cargo nets. This one is 36, which fits this window pretty closely. I'm drilling a pilot hole so that the screw doesn't jump around on me. And if these screws don't hold in the plastic, what I'll do is get some bolts with nuts on the back. I'll have to take the trim off and attach them that way. I'm not sure if these are wood screws, so I don't know if they're going to hold. Alright, the corners are on. Bring you over to take a look. Now I've got to put those few across the bottom. You'll still be able to use the cup holder. This is a 130-inch wheelbase Transit, so I don't have that bonus window in the back. This little short guy is only 4 by 24. That's going to go on that window. This one is not going to get one because it's got the latch to open the back door there, so I wasn't going to mess with that. But this side is going to get a 48-inch cargo net. For better or for worse, there it is. That's the 24-inch. This is the 48-inch long window. And done. Cherry Springs State Park in Pennsylvania was a great part of this little fall trip. This is a observatory type area with a big viewing area for looking at stars and some great hiking trails too. These are the greatest camp chairs. 2 little Velcro tabs. They open up. Like so. Benezet, Pennsylvania, home of the East Coast elk. There's a herd of about 1,500 that roam wild here. A beautiful visitor center with examples of all the wildlife in the area. There are a number of viewing spots around the area. You can find all that information at the visitor center, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get to come across some elk. We got to see this group a couple times, and it's rather tiring looking after the family, I guess. Sometimes you got to take a break. This bachelor was on his own. Lots of deer in the area as well. We've got a nice little campground in town. Great place to stay to see some elk. If you're lucky enough, they'll walk right past your camper. Sizerville is another beautiful Pennsylvania state park. Not very big, but just gorgeous, kind of hilly. We scored a spot next to the creek. Good hiking. When we got back from this trip, I realized we were lacking a table for our swivel chair. We only have one swivel on the passenger side, but it would be real nice to have something to put your computer on or your dinner tray so that you could sit inside and eat or work for at least one person. I made this bracket from some steel, welded it, drilled the holes that line up with 2 holes on the pillar just behind the passenger door underneath the plastic trim in a Transit. This is a 2015. And then put some 1/2 inch clear tubing over the top. And that tightens it up just enough that when you put this pipe table on there, it's got just enough resistance that it'll stay where you want it to. Of course, my wife offered to dress it up a little bit because who wants to look at black iron pipe? She does great work. Here it is mounted with the swivel seat. And as a bonus, I figured out that if I took another one of these mounting flanges and chopped the 2 sides off at an angle, just the size of an Arca Swiss tripod mount, this table could have a double purpose off of the van and on my tripod, which pretty much goes with me everywhere I go. Will give me a nice tray to set things on, whether it's a camera or a computer, or cheese next to the campfire if you need a little spot to put some snacks. Here it is all painted up. I used some hammered finish gray paint, spray paint, to paint all the parts and the table itself. Once it's mounted, you can swing it, use it outside, or swing it inside, close the door, and use it next to the swivel seat. And this is the other flange, again shaped to an Arca Swiss tripod mount. We just pop that in there, tighten it down. This is how I attached the piece of wood with snaps on it that holds my screen on the sliding door. These are just some simple Velcro straps through some drilled holes in the plastic trim. Another thing I definitely needed was a speaker upgrade, at least in the fronts. This van's got 6 speakers, but I only upgraded the ones in the door because they're closest to where we are when we're driving. This is the factory speaker. All you do is unplug it, take out 3 screws, and pop it off. As you can see, the speaker is built into the frame. Not so convenient when you're putting in new speakers because you'd have to reroute the wires to put a new speaker in. I'm just going to reuse the original frame. So basically we destroy the foam and chop out the speaker. These are the replacements I used. They will pop into that frame. All it's left to do is wire them up so you can just use the factory plug into this frame. I soldered the wires right from the frame to the speaker. We're good to go. Thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.